There's the green flag at the back. Of course, there's different class battles to enjoy, as well as the overall prize here as the lights go. Not a particularly good start from Jazz Sapra. Great start from Ben Pearson from the second row of the grid in the M235i. He was a double race winner at Thruxton last year, and I think he's got into the lead of the race by the looks of it as they headed through Copse Corner for the first time. And yeah, it is Pearson in that black fronted car that has the lead. Jazz Sapra is in second place as they come down to Copse for the first time. And I think, is that Paul Cook in third place as they turn their way through. Out of Beckett's they go. You can see there's Will Lake in the number 4 car. He races within Class 6, see if he can make up some positions. But a cracking start there from Ben Pearson, Chris.
Absolutely launched off the line, didn't he, to take the lead away from 4th to 1st. And then a little bit of squabbling further back with the 135 car of Charlie Dark, seemingly banging wheels with Stephen Schweikart, who it looked like he had a decent start, but has sort of fallen down the order a little bit on this opening lap. He's lost touch with the leading trio. Here they come over the line. Then Pearson leads Sapra over the line by just 0.2 of a second, with Paul Cook in third, Schweikart fourth, Charlie Dark in fifth, and then Jason Rees and John Brown and Stuart Pywell. And then David Morris it is leading the M2 cars.
Change of lead. Sapra up on the inside of Ben Pearson at Beckett's corner. He has gone through, and it might be that Pearson loses 2 positions here because Paul Cook in Mike Eustace's car, he goes through to take second place. So Ben Pearson loses 2 positions there in the space of 1 car. Oh, and there's been an off there. There's a bit of coming together. That's number 9. That's Jason Rees. He's obviously got into the back of somebody there. You can see the front bumper was very badly deranged. We didn't see what happened, but there's certainly been some contact there, I would think, down at Beckett's.
Definitely another car was involved in that. That was in the runoff area down there. So we'll try and pick up who that was. But Pearson is still going with Sapra for the overall lead of the race. And it's side by side for third behind, with Schweikart trying to get on the inside of Ben Pearson, who's got the outside line for Copse, and Schweikart pulls one on the inside and takes third position away from our earlier race leader. Now they're going into the yellow flag zone of Maggots.
Yeah, and that's with that car of Jason Rees having pulled off the 92 M3. Not seen where it's actually ended up. If it's still there on the edge of the circuit. It's out of camera shot now. It has been pushed off to the left-hand side now, so I think it's out of harm's way. So didn't really see what the cause of all of that was in the end. Anyway, working lap 3 of this race now, and that's Stephen Schweikart up to third place. He needs to try and get his foot down to close in on the top 2. Jazz Sapra and Paul Cook getting away here from the rest of the field. There's John Brown in his distinctive yellow BMW M3 that used to run in the M3 Cup, and that was a part of the 750 Motor Club package. And then further back you can see David Morris going through, our Class M2 leader, in 7th place overall. And here's a battle that involves, I think that's Colin Whitmore involved there. Yes, it is, in the number 35 car, very experienced BMW campaigner, and he's doing battle with the number 31 car, which is that of Paul Laramie.
Yep, so that is 12th position overall, and an interclass battle as well, with Whitmore in the M1 car going past Laramie in the Class 6 machine. Laramie currently second in that category, but quite a ways away from the number 27 of Chris Blakey that leads that class in 10th position overall.
And that is for the Class B M2 lead. That's a change there. Morris and Cavan Granger were side by side going around the corner. It's Morris that's got back ahead. It was Grange that arrived towards Beckett's in the lead, I think, but he'd lost out again to Morris, who was ahead at the start of the lap. Morris there in the number 96 car, the E46 M3, the driver from Harpenden. There's the small advantage there over Cavan Granger from Woking. Ooh, he's pushing on.
Yeah, he certainly is. There was second in both races, in class, at both races for Cavan Granger.
Putting 2 and 2 together to make 5 possibly. Was the other car involved down there at Beckett's possibly the 135 car of Charlie Dark, because that has come into the pit lane at the end of the following lap? So I wonder if he had some contact there with Jason Rees. They might have been in a similar part of the circuit.
Yes, I think you're just about right, because Jason was just behind Charlie Dark on the racetrack. So I would put 2 and 2 together there and get at least 4.5.
Okay, right, you're even more positive than I am then. Okay, so here's the Class M2 battle still raging on. Cavan Granger in second, chasing after David Morris. There's a gap back then to Aidan Vilku, third in that class in the number 69 car, the 25-year-old electrical engineer from Willenhall. He's not in this shot. He's just not close enough to these two to be in it at the moment. Granger trying to get up on the inside into Luffield, but not close enough really to say a move there.
Sapra's suddenly lost 2 places with Schweikart and Pearson going through, so he's come across the line in 4th position overall in that invitational car. While we were watching the Class B or the M2 lead battle.
103.367 is the best lap of the race now for Paul Cook. The lap record for this category is a 101.42, so still some way outside Brad Sheehan's lap record in this class.
Yeah, and there was Granger trying to find the inside line going into Copse Corner, but has since fallen back a little bit. Of course, you've got Vilko as well with the 6th class leader in the 27 just behind them, Chris Blakey. So that is 7th down to 10th position overall.
Okay, so here's Schweikart coming through in 2nd position now, ahead of Ben Pearson. Just Sapper's into the pits. So that's a very smart invitation class car. The F80 has made it into the pit lane, unfortunately. There's our race leader, Paul Cook. You can see the ME Auto Services car, ME for Mike Eustace. This is the car he also raced at Brands Hatch last time out. We've sometimes seen Mike drive that car himself. But Paul Cook here now with a 3.5 second lead over Stephen Schweikart in 2nd position, and Ben Pearson in 3rd. Ben, who made that fantastic start, but just unable to maintain that early pace that he showed. Cook, who's been campaigning in the BMW Car Club Championship for a long time. He did the M3 Cup as well. He was an ML2 Championship front runner too. Paul Cook had some wins in that category over the years. So been around the 750 Motor Club paddock for quite a while. Now, here we can see the battle a bit further back. That's the treble 8 car, I think, of Andrew Phillips, just ahead of number 79 Sergei Miniv, and those two battling for 15th and 16th positions.
Yeah, 15th and 16th, but also for the last spot on the podium in the 6th category. So the 79 of Sergei Miniv trying to close down, but also you've got the 177 M2 class car there of Max Bunting in addition to that as well.
Yeah, and then just behind them you've got Will Lake in the ex-Stephen Schweikart car. We've got Lake and Emerson in 18th and 19th. We're just missing a Palmer to sort of complete the trio there. Charles Sapper, yeah, he's sort of tumbling down our time screen in the pits, of course. So we're now into the 8th lap of this BMW Car Club Racing Championship race. We're watching this battle. It's outside the top 10, but so there's always good scraps to be had all the way down the field in the BMW Car Club Racing Championship. Sergei Miniv there in his 325 Ti, based in Wisbech. One of the Class 6 cars. He's currently running 4th in class. Phillips is 3rd in Class 6. Class 6 leader Chris Blakey is further up the road.
So turning through Brooklands once again is still that Triple 8 car of Andrew Phillips that leads this train of cars. 3rd position of the Class 6 cars, but managed to get 2nd in both races at Brands. The former Legends and American Cup car racer.
Yeah, done some GP midgets as well, hasn't he? So very much familiar with the short ovals. 44-year-old from Cheshire.
Yeah, loves his American style machinery, doesn't he?
Absolutely, which begs the question, what is he doing on a BMW Car Club grid?
Well, I did wonder this. It's the least American thing I've seen all week.
Anyway, looking at the Cup class, that's being led by Gareth Thomas. We've not really talked too much about that. He's in 20th place over number 68 from the 61 car of Ernie Graham, and it's Sam Walton third in that. I think Sam was the fastest car in qualifying as well in the Cup class, so he's just at the back of that group of Cup class cars at the moment. He's watching number 44 turn his way through. That's Ben Haynes in the number 19 car, and he's now being passed by Stephen Schweikart, so lapped by Stephen Schweikart and indeed Ben Pearson as well.
Yep, so traffic's going to start to play a part in this, and Pearson looks to have closed the gap a little bit to Schweikart on not only the previous lap by 0.3 of a second, but also on this lap as well, because he's now right with the 2023 champion, that M1 car that he's moved up to for this year. And Pearson in the 25 machine, trying to match the results that he got in the opening meeting of the season at Brands Hatch as well. With just over 9 minutes to go then, and what was it over the line? It was just under 0.7 of a second between Schweikart and Pearson.
That's right. So best lap of the race with Paul Cook for 103.367. There is Lake. Oh, now that's a bit smoky. That's the Phillips car, isn't it? That's smoking away.
Yeah, and it's not from the rear of the car. It's from the front left corner, and so that screams of bodywork rubbing up against tyre face, and he's really struggling to keep it on the road now as well. And I wouldn't be at all surprised, or unless he's spinning on his own fluid there. Because now he's really started to slow down, but it really did look like it was coming out of the front left corner. I'm not entirely familiar with the anatomy of that car, but yeah, there was definitely smoke coming out the front end.
Yeah, so he's pulled off onto the grass. So that's a great shame for the treble 8 car of Andy Phillips. So he's dropped out of a promising position in Class 6. There is the 61 car. That's Ernie Graham. So he is running second in the Cup class at the moment in the 325 TIs. Just behind him is number 6, which is Sam Walton, so he's third within that class. Going through the yellow flag zone, of course, where the Phillips car has just pulled off. There's John Brown again in the number 7 car. Ironically, it's yellow, but he's the Glaswegian driver, and he's come back down to race in the championship this year. Gas engineer, started racing 10 years ago, has had a bit of time out. A bit originally built this car, say, for the M3 Cup himself.
Definitely not the LMP3 racer, John Brown.
Correct. Unless he's also gas engineer in Glasgow.
I don't believe so. I think he's American, actually, so hard to distinguish the two, obviously.
And so there is John. He's running in 5th position at the moment, 5th of the M1 class cars as well. He's quite a way clear of David Morris, who's the next car through, and the best of the M2 class car, still with a 1.1 second advantage over Cavan Granger.
Andrew Phillips' car, we just saw there, getting the attention of the marshals and being pushed into a safer location.
Yeah, well, thanks to the marshals for all of the tremendous work that they're doing this weekend to help keep this race meeting running pretty smoothly so far. It's an invaluable contribution that you make, and we're very appreciative of it.
Well, Lake has come into pit lane, the number 4 Class 6 car that was double winner in Class Brands Hatch. So, yeah, not sure what that's about. Was running about 4th or 5th in class at the time, but he's pulled into pit lane.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a shock for the man that was jointly leading the championship coming into this weekend, and he would have had a chance to extend an advantage with David Heisman not taking part this weekend. So I suspect it's going to be Paul Cook that's going to move into the championship lead after this race, assuming he brings the car home. We've still got 6 minutes to go. It's quite a long race, this 20-minute race for the BMW Car Club Racing Championship. There's Paul Laramie, number 31. He's second within Class 6. Just behind him on the road is the 55 car of Raheem Ballou. That's actually a Class M1 car, more powerful, but Raheem still pedaling it quite hard there, albeit not quite with some of the other M1 class cars today.
And 6.8 seconds to the good now is race leader Paul Cook over Steve Schweikart. There's that number 26 machine that is leading the way and going for his third victory of the season as it stands.
Yeah, he's been pretty dominant as it's turned out this season so far. See if how long he can keep this up for. That's the little roadster that he's gone past now, David Asperton in the Z3, number 20. He's running in 11th place, so Paul Cook's nearly up into lapping the top 10 drivers here, such as his pace superiority. If I compare his lap times to David Asperton, it's a 1:03.3 best for Paul Cook, a 1:07.9 the best for David Asperton. So he's lapping 4.5 seconds a lap faster. So yep, over the course of 14 laps, you will make a lap on him.
He makes his way into Brooklands once again. And traffic management, always a key part in these sorts of races, where you try not to lose too much time, but also don't throw the whole race away by having a silly bit of contact. Much rather lose a second in a bit of traffic than 60 seconds having a spin and trying to recover and whatnot. But of course the pace of the cars he's lapping is increasing as he gets further up the road.
That's right, so 3 3/4 minutes remaining now. Down to Beckett's goes the 96 car of David Morris, still in the lead of Class M2. Still not with a very big lead over Kevin Granger. Granger's seemingly been able to do nothing about him, but he's certainly not let Morris get away. The gap between them at the start of the lap was about 0.8 of a second. Aidan Vilcourt another 1.9 seconds back in third position. That's the 27 car. That's our Class 6 leader, Chris Blakey. We've not seen a lot of him during the course of this race. He's 5 seconds or so ahead of anybody else and nearer 6 seconds ahead of his nearest class rival. So it's been a dominant performance, this from Chris Blakey in number 27, the driver from Lincoln in his E46 330 CI car.
Yeah, they're in 10th position as it stands. Change for 8th overall with Colin Whitmore in the 35 machine, going ahead of Aidan Vilcourt. So that is the car in third position in M2 that he's just passed. There's an M1 car going ahead. Whitmore that actually wasn't on the entry list for this weekend initially, was he? It's a late entry for Whitmore, and currently 8th overall. Yeah, Kevin Granger just in front of him seems doomed to finish second in every race, as he did in Brands.
So here is Schweikart then, or Swack as he is known, 49-year-olds from Spalding. There you can see Chris Blakey, our Class 6 leader, just behind Aidan Vilcourt. And so that is for position. It's for 9th position overall.
Yeah, just had a really wide moment, did Vilcourt. Coming out of Brooklands. It's going to get very tight when they come down the straight, but yeah, Vilcourt just surviving that moment.
So he's done that. Only a minute and a half to go, so probably a couple of laps to go now in this race for the BMW Car Club Racing Championship. Lost, obviously, Jason Rees and Charlie Dark very early, and then Jas Sapra and Andy Phillips also into retirement, but still we have 21 cars circulating here.
John Brown's just gone ahead of Stuart Pywell as well, so that number 7 yellow machine that we were looking at earlier moving ahead of Pywell for 4th position, not only overall but also in the M1 category.
And Pywell's actually just headed down the pit lane. I've just spotted him outside of our commentary box window. So Pywell out of the race. So it's another retirement, I'm afraid. Into the last minute of the race now. Paul Cook it is that continues to lead. There he is, just gone on to his final lap then. So it's going to make it a 19 lap race for the BMW Car Club Racing Championship. Bit more lappery, I think, for him to do before the race is over.
It's the result of this race that sets the grid for race 2, and so that means we're going to have some very rapid cars coming up through the order a little bit later on, with
potentially,
provided they are healthy cars for the start of the race. But you've got basically all M1 cars really, and of course the invitational car of Sapra as well. But of course that'll also make life a little bit easier for Paul Cook at the front of the field as well. 12 seconds to the good.
Yeah, absolutely right. So he's turning his way through Luffield for the final time. The clock has already counted down to 0. So Paul Cook is going to make it a hat-trick of wins at the start of the 2025 BMW Car Club Racing Championship. Heading through Woodcote Corner now. There he goes, over the line, takes the checkered flag. So Paul Cook is victorious at Silverstone in round 3 of the BMW Car Club Racing Championship, and a convincing victory it has proved as well. Stephen Schweikart it will be that will come through in second. We've had our M2 class battle come across the line. David Morris ahead of Cavan Granger, so that battle has been resolved. Schweikart and Pearson now come through to complete the overall podium. Class 6 winner Chris Blakey has come through in the number 27 car, and our Cup winner Gareth Thomas has also come across the line as well. So all 4 of our class winners have taken the checkered flag, but Paul Cook really dominant there. 14.5 seconds is eventual victory margin, and it's a shame that we did have some quick cars, as you were saying, Chris, falling by the wayside.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing them come up through the pack in race 2, but Cook was pushing all the way to the checkered flag, because his last lap of the race was the best lap of the race, a 103.175.
Yeah, certainly didn't give up, did he? So Paul Cook, number 26, took the win. 19 laps of racing in the BMW Car Club Racing Championship. He defeated number 43, Stephen Schweikart, by 14.580 seconds. Third was number 25, Ben Pearson. Fourth was number 7, John Brown. Then the Class 2 M2 winner was number 96, David Morris. In 5th place overall from number 37, Cavan Granger. 7th was number 35, Colin Whitmore. 8th, number 69, Aidan Vilku. 9th was our Class 6 winner, number 27, Chris Blakey. And rounding out the top 10 was number 20, David Aspen, ahead of Paul Laramie, Raheem Ballou, Max Bunting and Sergei Miniv. Further back, we had in 15th position the car of Craig Emerson. Stuart Pyrwell was 16th, Ben Haynes 17th, Gareth Thomas 18th, and winning the Cup class ahead of Sam Walton and Ernie Graham. So that's the first race of the day for the BMW Car Club Racing Championship. They're going to conclude our action this weekend. They're the last race on the programme today, so they'll be back out again early in the evening. There's Paul Cook. He's parked up already in the number 1 slot after his 3rd win of the season in the BMW Car Club Racing Championship. Should be very pleased with that. We'll hear from him in just a moment, and also from our Class M2 winner David Morris, who I can see is in behind as well. Looks like we've also got Gareth Thomas there too. But I think we can probably now go down to hear from Kieran Mogg. He's in the pit lane, ready to speak to Paul Cook.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm down here with Paul Cook. Paul, you had a bit of a dominance in that one.
I didn't know how far the gap was, to be honest. Start was good for the first time in this car. This car's on loan by Mike Eustace, ME Auto Services, fantastic guy. Hello to your mum, Mike. Yeah, it was sort of, I knew the heavier cars wouldn't probably last the pace. I wasn't that fussed when I was third into the first couple of corners, but yeah, the race was history, really.
You were 14 seconds ahead of P2, so yeah, obviously very comfortable with the car on the track. Is this one of your favourite venues?
It's not the best, no, it's not the best, not the most challenging, but nevertheless it's still good fun when you got good competition around you as well, so yeah, very enjoyable.
Good, well congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Cheers. Right, we'll move on to the M2 class winner, which is David Morris. So if we can just jump in here as they're all congratulating each other. David, you're right in the pack there. How was that?
Hard work, and I'm very sweaty. It's not very nice, but it is nice. Yeah. But yeah, it was all good. I had Cavan in the burgundy and white one really giving me some hell, which was great fun. And fair play, it was all fair and all good. So yeah, no complaints.
Good, good. And obviously it ended with a win as well. You can't ask more than that.
Not really, no. At my age, no.
Good, well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thanks. We'll move on to Chris Blakey, which is over there. So we'll grab Chris first, if we can. Sorry. Yes. So class win. How was that out there?
Warm, very, 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 very warm, as you can tell by my sweaty forehead. It got real hot, real quick. I thought should be about halfway through, but when I first looked at the clock, like my countdown clock, I had like 15 minutes left. It was a really long race. So, but yeah, great start from Paul. Paul's a lightning starter. I had to get past him at the start, and kept him behind me and just kept him building the gap, and it was perfect. Perfect race. So.
Can I have some more then?
Not a little cooler, maybe. It's a little bit cooler for me and the car, but hey, we're here. Yeah, it was great fun though.
Good. Well, congratulations.
Brilliant, thank you.
Cheers, thanks. We'll move on to Gareth Thomas, also class winner. Busy?
Very, yeah, it was towards the end of the race, you know, being at the back end of the grid, you know, all the M1 cars coming through, which I think helped me in a way. The other two was tussling together, and once everyone else started getting in the mix, it was just helping me get that big break, you know.
And talk to us about the disparity in pace between obviously your car and some of the upper classes. How difficult is it to manage that space on the track?
It's, I mean, ultimately, the rule is, I mean, we will keep our racing line and they've got to get round us because, you know, if we make some sudden movement they're not sure of, then, you know, it can cause a big problem. But the straights is just, if we can look far back enough, the straights, just let that's the time when they've got to go past, you know, more than anything. Because the corners, it's frustrating because when you join them in the corner, follow them through, you can carry the same pace. It's just that straight line that you've got to let them go by more than anything. Yeah.
Still class win, so congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, back to winning ways. I appreciate that. Yeah, all good.
Absolutely. Cheers. Thank you very much. All right. So that wraps up the BMWs. And coming up next is the Yokohama Locust Championship.